You got everything, right?
It's very cool.
Yeah, one thing on that.
Okay, so that video kind of gives a spirit of what we're trying to accomplish here. There's a lot of emerging technologies, and we think that one of the best ways to kind of see what we can get out of these is by running a hackathon. So I'm going to start with why we're doing a hackathon, why we're focusing on kind of speech and conversational user interfaces. Then I'm going to go through the event format for the hackathon. Then we'll talk about like what kinds of people would participate. The short answer is everyone. And how you can prepare for it, and then we'll go through some questions. Okay, so why are we doing a hackathon based around voice? I've also picked one of my inspirations for this. Oops, actually, I already have this queued up. Partly because science fiction has given us really cool fantasies about robot butlers that can do anything you want.
1970 thanks about model staff and Lisa. How many buildings are there? Am I going to the Belgian waffle stand? Yeah, with rhetorical, just show me. What does that look like to you, Jarvis? Not unlike an atom. In which case it's highlight the insurance. What does it go back to the sheets? I'm discovering correction. Rediscovering. Development. This landscape of shrubbery and trees. It's entrances.
So you get the idea. These kinds of, this is kind of like the end game that a lot of tech companies are building towards now. Speech-based interfaces can be really intuitive. Also, has to be perfect, or else you can see the seams, and suddenly the immersion is broken. So we are quite a long way from that, but we're slowly building towards it. Sorry, yeah, there was another thing I wanted to show, was that these experiences,
Cool.
yeah, they're not just cool, they are convenient. They can also be life-saving.
You're stuck in your truck? Where are you? Survives the unthinkable after being crushed under his own 5,000-pound truck. The 18-year-old saying a prayer and a little help from Siri saved his life. Here with his incredible survival story, 18-year-old Sam Ray. Sam, nice to see you this morning.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
So take me back to that afternoon in July. You were working on your truck in your driveway, and then what happened?
I called my dad to let him know that I thought I found the issue, and he told me to go ahead and get out from underneath the truck, and as I did, the truck collapsed on me.
Oh, and what did you do at that moment? You had your phone that you had just spoken to him on, and you slipped it in your back pocket. Well, what happened next?
So I was pinned, I couldn't move, and it was just kind of under my pocket there. trying to use my body to get my legs freed, and when I did and got my legs loose, I laid the leg down on the ground, and Siri came to life.
And you were saying, oh, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this, and you started saying a prayer, right?
Yeah, that's about how it went. So.
And for those who don't know how Siri works, it can be activated just by holding down the home button. And so it's almost kind of like doing a blood dial. You were kind of wiggling yourself, is that right?
Yes, sir. Just kind of trying to move as much as I could, as much as I could.
And so for people who don't know how Siri works, how did it work, and how were you able to call the 911 dispatcher?
I was able to hit that button, and then I said, call 911 when I heard Siri's voice say, what can I help you with? And that's how it happened.
That was kind of a crazy example, but there's all kinds of stories you can find about people who have called dial 911 so that they can focus on doing first aid. And it's not hard to imagine other examples where Siri or another voice assistant could even give you like life-saving first aid instructions, and if you're in a really desperate situation. And having that hands-free capability could be the difference between a disaster and not. So one of the ways that we're getting towards that ultimate goal of good conversational interfaces is chat. So some technologies have popped up for this in the last couple. Facebook has an inside messenger, so it'll allow you to type a message like, hey, I need a good gift for a baby shower, and it'll interpret that as a question and figure out that you want to buy something for a baby shower, and it'll give you some context appropriate response. And the other popular one is Slack bots. So kind of program a bot that'll run in Slack, and you can order your pizza or tasks, and you can kind of train it. I think the more interesting direction is the voice-enabled technologies that have been growing as well for the last cycle. There was probably one of the ones that hit the mainstream first was the Xbox Kinect. It was proven pretty quickly to be an interesting way to control games, and then also just to control media apps on the Xbox. More things like ordering pizza. And then Apple Siri came and showed that this technology can be in the hands of mobile devices, which really opened it up to a lot more users. And it kind of, you're able to integrate like your location and have a lot more context appropriate conversations. The next wave is putting these devices right into the home. Amazon has already released their Echo. It's gaining traction in the United States and should be more available in Canada soon. And at Google I/O, Google announced that they were going to create a kind of a competing device called Google Home, kind of hitting the market later this year. So this is definitely a trend that's not going away. It's just becoming more ubiquitous as time goes on. It's definitely something that makes sense for us to explore as a tech option. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about the format of the event on the day. Basically, everyone will get here on the Friday at 9 and kind of get together in your teams. We're going to run just a quick little introduction, basically present the challenge that you're supposed to do and the rules that have come up in the meantime. 9:30 will be the official time to start working. We will bring in lunch at around 12. We'll bring in dinner around 7 or 8. But between those times, just the idea is to just keep on working. Our goal is to kind of have everyone stop at 8 o'clock and then do some presentations to the judges. And then the judges will go and grades and come back after the weekend when we'll announce the winners. So who can participate? And the short answer is everyone. This is for engineers to participate because the whole thing is I know there will be engineers who want to play with this but don't really have like a concrete idea of what they want to do. And I'm sure there's people who have team up with engineers. And experience in working on projects like this, there's a lot of work to do. We design the conversation options, and there's laying out all the different entities. Like if in a pizza ordering app, like you have to be able to write down all the possible toppings and things like that. There's a lot of tuning involved, and that sound too similar to each other, so the device will get confused. So there is a lot of room for all types to participate here. And in case you were on the bench about whether you were going to join, did we mention there's fabulous prizes? Not that, but something like that.
It could be a picture.
Yeah, you never know.
I'll bring the Berlin sack with this other side.
Candy cones.
So to kind of prepare for the event, the first thing you should do is add your name on the sign-up sheet, which looks like this. It's just a Google sheet. We have one for individuals and one for teams. And if you want to get ahead on the tech side, I'm hosting a tech preparation session next week. So we'll be sending out, did we already send out the invites for that?
I don't think so.
Okay. It'll be during the day on Tuesday. And if you want to get some extra reading ahead of you, I prepared a couple of articles and how-to guides on how to get started on technologies that we're trying to focus on for the hackathon. Okay.
Before we get to the Q&A,
Yeah.
Just a couple things I want to say, because it might actually clear up some of the Q&A. At the end of the year event, those slides that I picked up there weren't just because they were convenient and happened to be done. That was a presentation done by Vitaly. We're going to move into this year and how we were going to push and innovate and try to get into more and more spaces. The key thing there, and I think sometimes really gets lost in a lot of these kind of movements, is the word we. So a lot of times as engineers and people in the engineering industry, we wait for the company to tell us the direction. And we'll sit there and then we go for coffees and we have these wonderful discussions like ideas, but they don't go anywhere, nobody listens to me. Or sometimes when you're going away later, you're like, oh. So I worked in games for a long time, and one of my favorite events in the last few years was when Angry Birds dropped. And for a year, I listened to every single person I worked with tell me how they could have built that in about 10 seconds, and they can't believe it's making money. But the true fact is they didn't. Somebody beat them to that, and somebody got into that spot before they did, right? And when you look at things like Angry Birds and Flappy Birds, small innovations can be big. It doesn't matter. Innovation still starts with the we. So coming back to that, I listen to Vitaly, and I believe him. I really believe him. And part of what I know I can do to start trying to get some of those movements done is when somebody, I know we all have these conversations, but when I go to my Android meeting, and some people are in here or in those meetings, I constantly say, what do you guys want? What do you want to do? Tell me a voice. Tell me something. Anything you want me to do. Up to me, and he said, I'd like to run a hackathon. And that's honest. So part of our innovation and part of these movements and the fact that you guys have a voice is this isn't just about having a hackathon. This is about giving you that voice. This is about giving you that ability to move forward. on this particular emergent technology for a couple of reasons. One, VR and AR is obviously something we all like talking about and playing with, but in some cases, you know, the hardware seems like it might be a little bit far out before it's consumable by home use. But if you guys are going to any tech conferences right now, everything for the home is all over the place. And the companies that are lining up to build these technologies right now and target companies that you don't care about usually as a tech person. But they're important to see what they're picking up. And the reason is they're about to give something that's consumable by the average person. The average person's hand, that means that's the next emerging place for us to all get our new business or new line of work and the next thing we're going to be doing for the next 4 or 5 years. So it was one of the reasons that we picked this particular technology. So first of all, just showing up today, because by doing that, you're already supporting this, but I'm going to guilt you by also saying, if you guys want things like this, if you guys want the ability to have a voice, if you want the ability to shape Digiflare, participate. Even if you have a disastrous project, who cares? There's going to be some disasters. There's going to be some people who will not talk to each other the next day. If you've never been to a hackathon, this is what happens. But if you go through this particular process, it's something that you will never forget, and it's something you will be better for afterwards. So when you're making your decisions, even if you walk out today and you're like, I'm not that interested in this particular tech, so what? Jump on it anyway. Because you are interested in tech, you're interested in being a part of innovation, and you're interested in what's going on in this company, or you wouldn't walk in the door today. So when you guys are starting to think of things, come, have fun, innovate. The reason I have 3 consoles on my desk right now, and I said this last week, isn't just because I like consoles, I do. And the reason that I have really old consoles isn't just because I like really old consoles. I do, that's fine, that's all true. But one of the things that's beautiful about those devices to me is that was the first place that I started seeing as a kid, average people all coming together with technology and playing with it. And as somebody who wanted to create technology growing up, it's those spots where everyone comes together that everything ends up being interesting, right? So come be a part of this, have fun with technology, and remember, it's not all work, it's fun. You do enjoy it. So come, just play, and something cool will happen.
Well said, Jeff. Thank you. Hey, are there any questions? Yeah, so we're planning to use Amazon Alexa. So they have an API for building your own voice-enabled, what they call skills, but your own slice of what Alexa can do. And we're also going to, I'm going to show you something called API.ai, which just kind of allows voice-enabled in kind of any app. Like they have integrations with like any platform imaginable. We will have a limited number of echoes on site for the event, but Ryan has found a very cool site called Echoism that allows you to actually test Alexa in your browser. And yeah, I've tried it on the apps that I've tried building, and it works great. So that'll be available for everyone to.
Is that a limit to the amount of teams that can sign up for?
There's no limit to the amount of teams.
Is there, do you know how many team members on the team?
We're capping it at 5.
Is there a date at which you sign up by?
I would say Thursday before the first of the session, so before next Tuesday, sign up, because I need to invite you to the info session. And then also it's going to help me, I'm coordinating ordering food that day and prizes and all that stuff, so I need to know headcount involved.
More people involved, better price too.
Yes, that's true. June 24th. Date.
Right.
That's why you saw, yeah, it's a Friday. That's why you saw the team meeting move by a week. We took over the team meeting date.
Which is a big buy-in when they're moving the monthly end meeting to this. That means
what happens like in terms of ownership process. So like when some team comes up with a good idea and Digiflare sees it.
I think it would be a conversation with Mano.
So it's not like Digiflare can just take what you do if it's done during work hours.
Well, it is being done.
Yeah, most of it is.
I mean, that is the actual answer, right? So the short answer is it would be Digiflare property, right? So like, I mean, also get the power of Digiflare to be able to pull something off in the end, right? So if you have your special idea, I mean, you can do it somewhere else.
We have actually anything we come up with, Digiflare can have claims to. It's anything. Like, just say.
That's a good one.
But
During work hours.
no, I think it's also after.
It's also-
because they can claim that like Digiflare can claim that they taught you the skills necessary to build this, or you learned this.
It's more that, I mean, kind of everyone here flexible work hours.
Yeah.
Right? Flexible work environments, and so we're not about keeping track of what you're doing for work and what you're not doing. If you're doing something that's, further, like, we want you guys all to be involved and to be helping drive the business forward. And if something comes out of this that you get value in, we want you to be driving it. We want you to continue driving it, like take charge of it, and we'll give you that opportunity. Give you the resource you need to deliver on that. That's so.
And the budget.
And the budget. That's the thing. The resources you need to actually.
That's always part of the trick, though, right? Like, you can't turn around at one point and say, "Yeah, I have all these ideas," and the other point be like, "I don't want to share any with me either," right? Yeah. So I mean, like, there's an internal boundary somewhere within you where you know what ideas you want to share and which ones you don't. You want to come and bring ideas that would help push this company in particular forward, right? And that's part of what it is. So when you're evaluating something, I would take into account what is this company giving me, and then giving back something within that same avenue, right? So try to do something that, yeah, you can live with and you can sleep with on your pillow. But I'm sure there's lots of good ideas that fall into that span, or else you shouldn't be in the building to begin with. And I don't mean that as any disrespect, because I don't believe any single person in this room falls in that category. So, it's just use common sense when you're presenting something, right? But make it a secret and present it to them later and say, "Hey, I got a really good idea," and get them to sign an NDA. But you're more likely to plan tech, and that's the main focus.
Okay. So,
currently, right now, the judges that are on are Andrew, Vitaly, and Mano, and Dave. Dave. So we're looking for a fifth judge. You guys know, we've asked a few, but they actually want to participate.
Oh, I got a question. Is there any constituted groups already? Anybody?
Unless people were having conversations outside of here, we don't have it.
Oh, and one more then. Is there a Slack channel for this? Like,
Yes.
Is there a place we can exchange ideas and like gather and like announce the group ideas?
So there is a Slack channel, it's Hackathon. I have to work with Jesse to make it public. It's private right now. So I'll add everybody who is here today to that channel so you guys can start talking and stuff.
So on the day of, let's say half the company is taking part, half is not, how are we split up?
But geographically?
Well, I'm just wondering, like,
Are we talking workload?
People are going to be like, talking about trying to test out the things.
We will do our best to try and keep people segregated from the people still doing work. We don't have a plan because we don't know how many people are signing up right now. So once we know how many people are signing up, we'll basically take over the space that's appropriate.
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Any more questions?
One other comment then. Also, do notice that one other tricky thing we've done in there is we're calling this the summer hackathon. You did notice. You notice is officially the only one we actually have agreement for. So that being said, if you have ideas for future hackathons or something else you guys want to focus on, different technology or whatever, this is also a good avenue to start putting those down too and let us know. And if it goes well, then obviously we should probably be able to get buy-in to get more done. So that's the habitual plan. I surprisingly amount of things to say.
I have a question. How are we going to be doing the presenting format? Because I know previously in hackathons I've had to go forward and do like a full spiel, like live demos, marketing projections that usually in the past.
In my mind, we're going to walk from space to space and just send the judges around. I think that's usually easier because it goes a lot faster that way.
Yeah, and it's 12-hour period.
Yeah.
I'm sure we want to
Yeah.
get something done.
Like 24 hours.
Yeah, because
When
when
you
you
I've judged that for 24, 48. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not always smooth.
then you get like a couple of presentations with the judges too. So if one of them just goes badly, you can kind of revamp some other ideas and you get more experience that way too, right? So it goes a lot faster to split it up usually.
Trying to, I guess, group by group, will the groups have opportunities to see what other groups have done?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we could do like a walk around at the end, right?
Okay.
That's what
I mean, I also encourage people to be involved with the other groups during the hackathon as well. Not to be too heads down.
Because by the time you guys get about like halfway into the day, usually everyone's pretty set on what they want anyway, right? So, but if you're very secretive and you have that type of mentality, then you can hide it till the end of the day. So,
There's a couple of tech things on the PowerPoint. Could you send them?
Yeah, so after we're done here, I will send out both a link. We have a Confluence page too for the hackathon. So I'll send a link to the Confluence page.
so we'll put links on the Confluence page, should we?
Sorry?
We'll put links on the Confluence
Yeah,
page.
everything, and then also the links that we have here on the site and the email as well.
Also, we like you to come up with cool team names, so think about those too.
Yeah. And I would say if you're wanting to participate but don't have a team, but want to become a team, someone is an individual and just note looking for a team. Because there may be a few people looking for a team. Free agent, yeah.
Yeah, we can do a draft. We should just draft. Maybe in the future hackathon. I don't want to run a draft in the first one.
Description.
Yeah, next time we can try to mix up things like that.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey, yeah, thank you.
Maybe you should.
Finish your clock.
You're gone.
Yes.